So there is very secret that keeps pulling people backward. It doesn't want to allow people to go ahead in life. And if you are struggling with moving forward in life, then probably this video is for you. So stay tuned and let's get this video started. And as well, this video will be revealing to you steps to take to overcome that very thing, because you must move forward in this life. Yes, you must go ahead in life. Okay, so let's get this video started. But before that, let me introduce this channel to you. This is a storytelling channel where I tell you interesting stories, answering questions pertaining to life. I do this every Friday and Saturday, so feel free to ask me your questions in the comment section. And so this weekend I will be revealing a secret that puts many people backward in this story, and as well we'll be telling you the exact steps to follow to overcome this very thing. Okay, so stay tuned and don't forget subscribe to this channel for more interesting content. Okay, let's get the story started. Today's story is about a woman named Cynthia, or let's say a beautiful lady named Cynthia. So Cynthia sat down at one corner of her room with tears running down her eyes. Her mouth went sad. She couldn't eat anything. Her younger sister Grace came to the room, knocked several times, and shouted out to her, "Cynthia, you are scaring my kids. For 2 weeks now you've been in this room without food. Please, Cynthia, please come out." Cynthia looked towards the direction of the door, but didn't say anything. Instead, she kept on crying, while her younger sister Grace stood at that door, kept knocking, and was shouting out to her, but there was no response coming from Cynthia. At some point, Grace just had to leave the door to go be with her husband and her children in the parlor, who were seated watching film and eating popcorn. When she got to the parlor, she just sat down on the chair feeling so tired. Her son Junior said to her, Mommy, I don't like Auntie Cynthia." The same words were repeated by her daughter Sunshine. "Me too, Mommy. I don't like Auntie Cynthia." Grace couldn't utter a word. She just looked at her husband, Kenneth. Kenneth looked at the kids and called them. He then said to them, "Junior, Sunshine, Auntie Cynthia is a very good person, and she's your auntie, so you should love her. And remember what the Bible says." Sunshine nodded her head and responded, "Yes, Dad, the Bible says that we should love our neighbor as we love ourselves." "That's good," Kenneth responded and gave Sunshine a high five. Junior also added, "And our neighbor are those around us, and that means that we should love everybody around us." "That's good," Kenneth responded again and gave him a high five. So they all continued watching their film and enjoying the popcorn that was in their hands. After some hours, the kids slept off and Kenneth carried them into their different rooms. Later that night, while Kenneth and Grace were in the room, Kenneth tapped Grace gently and said to her, "Baby, I want to talk to you." Grace reluctantly answered, like she did, like she was sleeping before them, but she wasn't. She was just lying on that bed thinking about her elder sister Cynthia. But then she responded to her husband, "Honey, what do you want to say?" Kenneth responded, "Is your sister possessed? Or she was just naturally born to be a sadist?" Grace shook her head and responded, "No, my sister Cynthia is not possessed, and she was not naturally born to be a sadist." Kenneth responded almost immediately, and he was shouting at this point, "So why is she behaving like this? For 2 weeks, your sister has stayed in that room without coming out, without eating. She did this last month and stayed in the room 1 week without showing her face to anybody and without eating food. Is she planning to kill herself? Why is she doing like this?" Grace just went closer to her husband Kenneth, held his hands, and said to him, on the 29th of this month, we'll make it 4 years. I and my sister lost our only parent, which was our mother. And I believe that's who she's mourning for. Kenneth shook his head and said, no, it's 4 years. So by now, she should have gotten over it to a large extent, just like you. See, the way your sister is behaving, I don't like it. Your sister is the older one here, but she's not married because she keeps chasing every man that comes around her. I remember how hard she fought me from marrying you. I got your sister a job, and she was sacked because she keeps scaring everybody. All the kids that come around her are scared. Sometimes I feel like your sister is actually possessed, or probably she was just born naturally as a sad person. While Kenneth was talking, tears filled Grace's eyes, and Kenneth noticed this, so he stopped. He then placed her head on her chest and kept quiet. After a while, he said, baby, I'm sorry. Grace didn't respond. She just kept quiet, and that's the way it was until she slept. But Kenneth couldn't sleep. He kept wondering why a beautiful lady like Cynthia would be behaving so strange. While he kept thinking about all those things, he slept off and woke up very early in the morning before Grace. This was unlike him. He got up and tiptoed out of the room to where Cynthia's room is. Kenneth stood in front of Cynthia's door, knocked, and said to her in a very low tone, Cynthia, come out. Grace told me everything. When Cynthia heard this, she pushed the flower vase on the table and it fell so hard on the floor that the noise woke Grace up. Grace immediately jumped up from the bed and ran to Cynthia's room, only to find her husband standing in front of the door. She was shocked. Before she could utter a word to her husband, Cynthia asked, shouting, what did Grace tell you? Grace quickly signaled to her husband to be quiet. So she responded, sis, I did not tell him anything. I just told him that on the 29th of this month will be the 4 years that she was tampering. In essence, she was telling Cynthia that. She didn't tell Kenneth anything. She just told him that on the 29th of this month will make it 4 years they lost their mom. At this point, Kenneth was confused. He looked at Grace, shook his head, and wondered what these two sisters have been hiding from him, because it was very obvious that they were hiding something. He looked at her again, shook his head, and walked away, while Grace just fell down on the floor there and started crying. At this point, I put a pause to the story. What do you think? Do you think these two sisters are actually hiding something? And do you think this thing they are hiding possibly will be the secret to Cynthia's problem? You get to find out in this channel tomorrow. It's a good time to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, and of course this video will be teaching you something beautiful: how to get loose, how to be free from whatsoever secret is holding you, pulling you backward. Yes, the story will be revealing it to you. So stay tuned and see you tomorrow right here. Bye.